Okay, it's time to make the other sealed cell. I got the membrane that's going to wrap right around it. I have the two carbon plates already glued up. Had a bit of a spillage there, had to shave it down. Okay, so we'll weigh a standard membrane coated paper towel weighs 0.23 grams. Alright, so we got 6 homemade sheets, 2.1 grams of homemade carbon. What was that again? 0.2. So there's probably less than 1 gram of carbon still there. That will be the negative side plate. That's the homemade carbon sheets. There's 6 layers. Manganese dioxide ones. 6 layers of them. We got 4 grams. So probably less than 2.5 grams of actual carbon. That will be the positive side plate. Oh, just so we don't forget, I'll scratch this. Okay. Right, I'll wrap the membrane around the positive side completely. I'll put the fold out the back. That shouldn't matter. It should be still sealed enough for it to be noticeably different. I'm not sure how well 6 layers are going to actually work, if it does work. But if we don't try it, we're never going to know. Right, so cell's constructed. And we'll keep it on the same video as the 16 other charges. This one's left over from yesterday, last night, still at 1 volt, and for a short circuit on it. It's had a 100 milliamp load. No, it was a 50 milliamp load taken off it last night for an hour, and we still got 40 on a short circuit. So I probably didn't charge it up long enough the other day to leave it over 24 hours, I should say. Alright, I need a rubber band, and got another container. It's going to use a bit of my electrolyte, but still, it's going to be interesting. Alright, I'll be back shortly. Hi there. Today's video is testing the 6-layer manganese dioxide cell and homemade carbon. On the negative side it is, and the positive electrode on this cell is totally wrapped in membrane. So we're going to see if that makes any difference, plus if the layering also makes any difference. So I haven't checked it. It's almost nearly 24 hours, probably 23.5 hours since I made it the other day. Could have made it at 11:30. It's 11:41 now. So hopefully this one's the negative side. We have 0.7 volts without a charge or anything going through it, and for a short circuit, just on a fresh cell that's been sitting for nearly 48 hours, we have 18 milliamps. That's not too bad. And this time I'm going to back the charge off. The analog meter's now on the 2 volts. It'll probably be about 1.8 or something when we connect it. We'll find out shortly. Because the other cell, see how the liquid's black? I think I'm separating the carbon graphite plate because that's been suspended since last night and it's still in solution. The cell still works. I'm wondering if I should dump the liquid and keep the voltage down or just keep it as it is. So, okay, I got the data logger hooked up. First I'll keep the I'll do a half-hour charge first up. I'll just connect the leads. It's best to start the monitor before you hook up the power. Okay, connecting power now. We only got 40 milliamps at our 1.6 volts, but we're dropping off really quickly. But we'll keep it at that and we'll see what happens over a half-hour charge. Well, we're going to run out of milliamps. Maybe I have to crank it up a bit. When I turn the power supply down, it doesn't deliver the amperage needed. Looks like we might be stuck with high voltage. Well, I guess if the cell can handle over voltage and it still functions for over 20 charges or more, when you look after the cell it might work better. But for this test I'll leave it at current voltage settings, see what we get, and I'll be back in a half hour. Charge number 1 of the 6-layer Carbon Wetcell. We're doing 0 milliamps and we've probably been doing that for the last half hour. It's 58 minutes. Gonna stop it and see if we have actually put enough power into the cell. I'll just change the leads. Okay, we're at 1.5 volts the cell is. Starting the test. It's 50 milliamp draw. Nah, we're not putting enough power into it. I'll have to hang on, let's see if we got 30 milliamps. Nope, we don't have enough for 30 milliamps. 50. I'll put the voltage up to 2 volts. So disconnecting that. Well, just as well, I waited for that long. Well, the cell could be dead, but we put very little energy into it. Yeah. Connecting the power supply. Alright. Okay, now I'm going to go up. There we go. Alright, 2 on the multimeter and 2.1 there, doing 14 milliwatts. Wonder if I should go up to 0.5. We'll stay there. 2.3 on the multimeter and 2.4 there. Well, it's 3.7. We'll try that for a half hour and see. Hopefully that doesn't start splitting the plate. Now we've got bubbles coming out the cell. Never had anything before. Okay, we'll waste another half hour. Okay, that's our charge curve for number 1 for the 6-layer cell. It was 47 minutes. I was making the other video. I got the charge disconnected. We're all good to do 50 milliamp load test starting now. So load test number 1. Yeah, it's not too bad for a small, the voltage was down, don't forget. The cell's still clean. Sweats a bit there, see on the side. Okay, I'll get back with an update during this first discharge. Just found the first run in this one, 23 minutes, it delivered 31 milliwatt hours, and it's bounced back to 1.7, climbing sort of. We'll see if it's got anything left. She's pretty dead like. Yeah, not much in there. I'll give it number 2 charge, same voltage. I'll keep it at that. I'll probably try an hour and 30 minutes if I can time it right. Okay, I'll get back after that charge. 1 hour and 6 minutes into the second charge, and the milliamp line seems to be not doing much, just sitting there at 61 milliamps. And the voltage is sitting at 2.4, hasn't changed much. And on the multimeter is 2.41. The cells get around about the same amount of bubbles. Don't think the voltage is going to be high enough or something, not sure. I'm going to give it another half hour because we're doing not much. I'll get back in a half hour. Okay, charge number 2, we did it for 1 hour and 38 minutes, and the charger charges off, and we maintained our 2.1 volts like the other cell, and we're ready for a discharge. The charge curve is just sort of flatlined at 60 milliamps for an hour and a half. So we're dropping faster there. It's the second charge and the voltage is way down. I think for charge number 3 I'll put it back to the 3 volts just for the one-off charge to get a comparison out of 3 layers compared to 6 layers after this test, and then I'll go back to the same voltage we're on now, which is just past the 2 volt meter on the analog. Okay, I'll leave that there and come back later. Okay, load number 2, we yielded 64 milliwatt hours on that hour and a half charge. It's not too bad for a low charge, and went for 51 minutes. So now I'm going to clear this graph. And for the charge number 3, wait, I'm gonna I'll connect the load, the charger, and set it to multimeter. 2.9, back it off a little bit there. 2.92 on the multimeter, which gives us 3.08 there. 200 milliamps, and we'll do it for half hour and see what we get. And we'll check the curve. The curve was stable on the lower voltage, so we'll see if we get all that wiggly stuff. And we also want to check the capacity with the 6 layers compared to the 3 layers, and at roughly the same voltage as the other one. So it somewhat has the same milliamperage when it first started. Alright, so it's dead on 4:30, so 5:30 should be good. 5 o'clock. It was all round time. Hi there. Charge number 3, the 34-minute one, and that was the 3-volt charge. We're holding our 2.1, been there for a bit. I changed the leads over and set up the data logger, and the higher charge is the result of this strange graph. Must be the electrolyte breaking down, or the plates breaking down and then readjusting. So we'll see what it's got in it. Should be somewhat higher than 64 milliwatt hours, maybe. Still not holding its voltage like the other one was, but it's only early. Temperature's somewhat high. Tabletop's 37. 45 the wall is. Wait to see the laptop. Oh yeah, matches the wall. The cell is 37 and table was 39. So the cell's cool still, even though we just charged it up. But yeah, it's quite warm. Gonna get warmer tomorrow too. So I think after this run I'll shut the laptop down. Power supply is quite hot too. Seems to hold its voltage. Just dropped. I was going to say it's about the same. Still bubbling while it's running the load. Don't know what that bubble is there. I think there might be a crack in the resin, or it got in from under there. So if it is, it means the electrolyte's touching the copper plate. That was just a bubble, I don't know. No, it could be a runny bit where it dried and it's magnifying it. Okay, I'll get back with some updates. Third load test, 65 milliwatt hours on a half hour 3-volt charge. So that's about equivalent to the hour and a half on the slower voltage. Yeah, I'll let the cell rest now and turn the laptop off for a while. It's heating right up. There. Going to see what happens when we use the iPhone charger plugged into the data logger instead of connecting the charger to this. It's probably going to be a higher voltage and way more amperage. Hope it's not more than the 4 amps, which is in the data logger, yeah, because that would be unwise. Here we go. The data logger is connected. All I have to do is plug in that power. This lead just unconnects. It's a female USB, which is same as the charger end. So here goes. Oh, it's only 600. Oh, it's an amp. 5 volts, 1 amp. We'll log it. Is it logging? Yep. Okay, so 1 amp. And what's the time? A couple of seconds. Don't want to burn the cell out. It's really not bubbling that much more, sort of more constant. So that's what a mobile phone charger is doing. If I had more cells connected, this would be okay. Oh, the amperage is going up, is it? Yeah, by heaps. Voltage is going up a bit. It's nearly a minute. We'll give it 2 minutes. Cell looks like it's okay. Talk about I wasn't going to give it a high voltage for testing purposes. That's a strange looking graph now. Why is it going up? Oh no, it's going down now. Oh no, it's all over the joint. Alright, we're coming up to 2 minutes. We won't include this graph in the graph saving. Gonna cook it in a minute. Temperature's dropped a bit. 36. The walls. Oh yeah, well the sun's not on it as much now. And the cell's 37. Huh? Oh, it's hot. Yeah, we're cooking the cell, so alright. Well, it feels warmish. Disconnecting the power. What's the 2 minutes 44? Okay, it should drain itself by now. Pull it out. Oops, what happened? The monitor thing stopped working. Ooh. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Plug the data logger back in. Oh, I think the program is stalled. Ah. Right. Alright, we're taking voltage again. Had me worried. I thought turning it off at the power supply spiked the thing. We'll do 50 milliamps. No, we want a quick test. We'll do 100. start the test. Holding our voltage, not too bad. Here we go, 100 milliamp. After 2 minutes at 1 amp. Well, it doesn't look like the extra layers do too much. Still early. Maybe not so much electrolyte getting through to that membrane yet. But I don't know if I can squirt any down there without getting it on the top of the pad. So that was interesting, the mobile charger connected to that data logger. That warmed up quite well. Well, it's not, you can hold your hand on it, I can just feel heat. Check the cell's temperature. 37 it is. Tabletop temperature is 37. Ah, it's ambient. Yeah. Alright, I'll get back whenever this finishes. Okay, I forgot about the cell running. It only ran for 15 minutes and it delivered 30 milliwatts. Huh, not too bad. Does it have anything left? I won't worry about saving that graph. Nah, totally empty. Oh, there you go. Mobile phone charger up for 2 minutes. We got 15 minutes. Alright, that's it for tonight. It's nearly 9 o'clock. Hi there, it's the next day. I had this is the 6-layer cell. I had it charged up for about 20 minutes last night on about 2.5 volts. And now it's about 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. It's only 0.23 volts. It's actually doing worse than the 3-layer cell, which probably is holding more voltage. Guess. Yeah, and that's been idle for a whole day or two. So, interesting. I'm not sure if this cell here is actually functioning properly. It does have a bit of milliamps, but for a short circuit now, I'd say there wouldn't be much in there. Short circuiting, oh, better turn it on. See, nothing. Strange. So I'm gonna compare these two at the moment. I'm gonna charge them up for a half hour, both on the same amount of charge, and see which one's got the most milliamps for this test. Alright, I'll set everything up and I'll be back. Just started the 6-layer cell and it was dropping and then it's raised in milliamps again. It's back up to where it was originally started off at. I don't understand this cell. The voltage goes up and then drops down. Maybe the electrolyte's too strong. It's the same electrolyte as the 3-cell, that version of the cell. But the characteristics are very different. Seems to respond a bit better with a 2.8 than it does with a 2.2, charge. But this drop and then gain is a bit strange. Too many layers of carbon sheets perhaps. Maybe they don't stack that well. But anyway, So this is the first test charge of the comparing of the two cells. It's going to have a half-hour charge, and then I'm going to discharge it at 50 milliamps and then do the same with the 3-layer, and we'll compare the values. Okay, till then. Okay, we're at our half-hour charge. I've disconnected it. The graph just kept a flat line. I suspect I know why. The epoxy resin, see that dark line? There's, it's split. It didn't bond to the copper for some reason on this try. So the electrolyte now is just on that copper plate. So it will be the copper plate and the carbon graphite pad as the cell. That's a bit of a bummer. Mustn't have sanded it down properly. So for our load test, I'm all ready to do the load test. I don't think it's going to work that great. Still will work, hopefully. So I destroyed the cell already. So next time I make it, I'm going to fold the edges around both sides and then stick it on and glue it up properly. Well, it's still holding a charge for a while, so this thing could be leaking because it's touching the glass, which has got a layer of the salts around it, which might maybe not help it. Well, it's still holding up for a broken cell. I wonder if the other side of it, I can't see it till wrapped in paper towel. Strange that the stuff didn't bond. These other cells holding up really well. The big heavy gouges I used to mark the plate have disappeared. I think that might be it there. The electrolyte still's got suspended graphite in it. That's been sitting there for 2 days without stirring. Alright, I'll let this run out and then I'll charge the other cell, do the same test, and then I'll fix this cell up somehow. Oh yeah, I got a spare copper pad. Alright, till then. Okay, the 6-layered cell produced 35 milliwatt hours in 27 minutes on a half-hour charge. We'll charge up the 3-layer cell and compare that one now. Okay, I'll get back after the charge. So the 3-layer cell is at 0.2 volts. It was idle for 2 days or something. Connecting the charge, same setting. But we're at 2. Oh yeah, there we go, 2.8. We're around about the same. Same milliwatt, but this one's dropping a bit quick. Oh, better log it. So this cell actually is responding better because milliamps is actually going down, or it was, yeah, it still is. But we'll see if it keeps going down or swings back up. And I think it went back up just then. Yeah, characteristics are similar, I guess. Okay, the 3-layer cells charged up, 31 minutes this time. I've got the charger off. I think it's slightly higher on the voltage of this cell. So we'll do a run test and see if we can beat the last results. It was 35 minutes for, I think it was 17 minutes or something. Oh no, it was 27 minutes. That's the same record still on the screen. So starting the test. Voltage is dropping low like the other one, but it was a low voltage and half-hour test. So they probably look similar. We'll find out on the milliwatt hours. Hopefully this one's down, or the extra layering doesn't do anything. Maybe it hinders it, we'll find out. So I'll be back when this is done. The 3-layer all-carbon cells finished its test. It went for 24 minutes and delivered 26 milliwatt hours. The other one was 35 milliwatt hours, for about 9 milliwatt difference. So maybe there is a difference. I'll just repeat the test again and we'll see on the second try. For the second charge of the 3-layer cell, it started off at over 300 milliamps and it just dropped pretty rapidly to 155 for some reason. So we'll see if it stays at 155 milliamps for a half hour. Yeah, I'll be back. Second charge for the 3-layer carbon cell in the comparison test. I've taken the charge off. It sort of started off at 300, dropped rapidly, and then sort of set. It was declining slightly, but not too noticeable. We're at 2.2 volts now, and we're ready for our discharge. Last time we got 26 milliwatt hours, but this is a consecutive charge on this cell. They somewhat perform a bit better, as we can see. The voltage is somewhat up, but still not the same as a 1 volt charge on the cell. And temperature 33 for the cell, 36 on the table there. The other cell's 33 as well. And a wall test, 35. A little bit cooler than yesterday, but it will warm up a bit more. Alright, I'll let this do its run. 15 minutes into the second charge on the comparison test on this 3-layer carbon. We're already at 22 milliwatt hours, and it's 1.3 volts. So we're either going to rapidly drop, because last time we did the test we got 26. So this is a consecutive charge, so consecutive charges for some reason add a little bit extra to it. And it's the cell's 23rd discharge compared to that one, which is about 2, 3, and it's already fallen apart. I think the electrode's still stuck around the edges and it's just under the back part of the sheet. Guessing. Unless all that black stuff is actually the carbon pad poking through and we lost the copper. Yeah, I'll let this thing do. It's probably only going to do another 5 minutes. End of the second test for the comparison. We got 32 milliamps then for this one. That makes the other cell look pretty bad because that one first charged up to 35 milliamps. I mean, it had 35 milliwatt hours. So now we're at 32 for the 3-layer carbon. And I'll set up the other one and do another test for that one and we'll see what the results are. Theoretically, the next one we charge here should have a bit more as well. So the 6-layer cell is only at 0.8 before its second charge, about to connect the charge first. I'll set the data logger going. Okay, connecting the charge load. Now we've got 200 milliamps we did have. And I'll see how this one goes for its second charge. Sort of had a hour interval it did, this cell, where the other one was discharged and then recharged. So there's that difference going for it as well now. Okay. Second charge graph for the 6-layer carbon cell. I've got the charger disconnected and the cell ready to go. We're slightly under the other one. The other one was 2.2 before we connected. And I'm really sure that that's carbon pad through the copper there. I don't know where the copper's gone. Maybe it rolled up into that little funny colour there. Right, commencing the load test. That might have been that 1 amp charge we gave it. Popped it, perhaps. I'm pretty sure I saw the electrolyte getting in earlier. I said there was a bubble down at the bottom left corner. And I reckon it might have, from there it looks like it went in. Started reacting with the charges. Well, it hasn't had that many charges actually. So 1 out of 4 electrodes fail. Yeah. At least the original one's still holding up. This cell's probably 5 charges. Go, we're at 1.7 already. I don't think it's working. Well, if it fails after this, well, I was thinking about hooking it up to the mobile phone charger again for an hour. I think we'll pull it out the water, that electrolyte, and have a look at it and see what's really going on first, and then we'll make a decision. Alright, I'll let this discharge. Yeah, something up with this cell. See the curve, 10 minutes in, 14 milliwatt hours. I don't think it's got much. It's not going to make it 35. Looks like the black spot on the back of the cell's getting worse. Alright, I'll be back. God, we're almost watching the end of the cell now. Just finished. I stayed in the room, so it wasn't that much longer, and only 16 milliwatt hours. So let's we'll get the cell out of the water. broke some of the bubble off. It's gone soft for some reason. Maybe not enough hardener. I thought it was. And oh no, the copper plate's still intact, it's just black. I think that's where everything was mounting up. That's why we weren't getting our power density. The cell is now the copper and the carbon instead of the copper collector being benign. So, interesting. So that overrides the whole cell. Alright, I'll post these findings, and thanks for watching. Hi there, I have the replacement cell. Hopefully this one doesn't blow out. We'll try not to pump an amp into the cell maybe. But I think it was destroyed. That was the 6-layer cell we were going to replace. Let's have a look. Just get glasses on. Take that rubber band off, it will flick and probably flick electrolyte into my eye. So this is our replacement. It sort of didn't work out. It sort of went all over the joint this time, but it's still sealed up everywhere. I've got it a bit thicker just to hold it in. So we'll get this off. Do this rubber band. Hopefully it comes apart. Oh yeah. Oh, we've got a sheet stuck to it. Might have damaged it. We'll stick it there anyway. That's the home carbon. So we had a major blowout on this cell. And the reason it's caking, the substance on the back of that, is the least resistance is through the glue and under to the copper, instead of going through all of that pile of multi-layered membrane separator. So I'm wondering, the cell's still attached to the outer plate. It's just blew a hole through there. That was where that bubble was in that video I was saying. It went up, went in, expanded with steam, and pop the rest of that off. Oh, and this one, I folded the edges of the copper around so it's a slightly bit smaller, but the edges are round so the resin can stick to the corners better. Hopefully we don't get any green coming up around the edges. So put it back together. I should look at the other side just in case. Membrane's a bit rigid, considering it's been in the liquid for a while. Oh. Actually, both cells had stuffed. Ah, that's a bummer. Just as well, I looked. Well, we'll stick all this substance back in the liquid. Looks like I have to redo this one. I'm pretty sure it was the 1 amp we pumped into the cell which made it break. And, oops, while we're here, this cell has been sitting idle. I had the data log just connected with it, but it's no longer it's going into the negative for some reason. That was our positive. Now it's wanting this side to be the positive for some reason. Stupid cell. Weird. I'm going to charge it up how it is though later on. Not now, but I'm going to see if it comes back. because that was the positive side of this cell, and all of a sudden now it's going to minus 0.2 volts. And if we swap it over, we're the opposite. And that's where I had the positive, the mark for scraping, where I made it the positive. So strange. Alright, so a little update. I'm going to have to strip these ones down since I blew the bloody membrane. Yeah, that damaged the cell, didn't it? Alright, I'll be back.